Hello again and welcome to a new video. Today we're looking at this stunning 19 plate, registered May 2019, BMW X4 M40i. This is the auto 8-speed gearbox of this car. Finished in Sapphire Black metallic with just 17,198 miles, full BMW service history, and just 2 owners from new, both private owners. Now, as always, all of the cars here are machine polished, both with a rotary and then an orbiting mop, which takes out any little swirls in the paintwork and leaves you with this beautiful glossy finish on the vehicle. So if you look after it well and wash it correctly, it should last for some time, this finish on the car. Basically what it does is takes out all of the little scratches that you get through washing the vehicles, and the paintwork generally comes up almost better than new because you get a much smoother finish once it's been professionally machine polished and detailed to this level. Now if we look around the front, we got the shadow pack on the car, which gives you the black gloss grills, black gloss trims down at the bottom. It's got the M Sport Plus package as well. Now I'm just going to bring you around the front and just show you the condition. Now the bumper and all of the trims are in really nice condition. Below the fog light there's a trim which is in black gloss, which on the M series is usually like a sort of a bronzy colour. Now there are no nasty scratches or marks. There are a couple of very insignificant, you can just see them getting highlighted by the lights above. But if I come back out, you can see they're just tiny little dots. The headlights are also in really nice condition. They haven't been peppered by stones or anything. And it's got these really nice BMW adaptive LED lights. Now that gives you a totally different light or headlight with a different lens inside, and what those lights will do are light up the road in front of you using the camera up in the top of the windscreen to stop the lights shining directly at the cars that are oncoming. It picks up the light from those cars and directs the light in a slightly different direction so you don't dazzle them, and maintains the brightness of the road in front of you. Also dips the main beam automatically for you. We've got self-parking on the car as well. Now on these later BMWs, you can see the parking sensor just at the side there that picks up. So basically it'll pick up parking spaces, and by pressing and holding a button, it will completely self-park, including the gear changes and everything. So a very clever system once you know how to use it. Now what we're going to do is going to drop down on this side. There are no ding dents in the bodywork. Now we've got quite a lot of reflection from stuff in the background on this side, but you can just see how true those panels are. It's not had any previous damage. We come up onto the bonnet as well. I'm just going to take you very slowly across the front. It's not all peppered at all. There's hardly anything to see on there, to be honest with you. There's a tiny, very tiny been touched in, very, very small there. If we come up to the top, I've had a good look round the car, all in really nice condition. And again, the windscreen is not peppered. The windscreen is all in really nice condition. It's not got any stone chips or nasty marks. So we come up onto the roof. There's no bird dropping stains or marks in the paintwork. You can see the reflection that we're getting off of the car. We've got the privacy glass, or the sun protection glass as BMW call it, which reflects the heat back out. If you look at the top of the boot lid there. And then we've got these really nice 21-inch wheels, and they're all in really nice condition. The tyres, incidentally, it's got the Bridgestone tyres, the Alenza, I think they're called, and they've all got around about 6 mil all the way round. So all matching BMW approved tyres. We've got the M Sport brakes there as well. If I come back out and show you the side profile of the vehicle. So a really nice shape. It took a little while for me to get used to the new rear design of the car, but now I'm used to it. I actually really like it. It's a lot sleeker and more modern. So let's come round to the other side, show you that side. So if we come down on this side, there's less reflection on this side, so you can just see how nice those panels are, just the shine that's come up with the paintwork there. And if we come in and look out the front wheel on this side, so there's called Serene Grey, and it's got like a slight bronzy sort of titanium almost look to them. But by no means, they're the best design of wheel out of the choice that you get, I believe, for these. Let's just come back out. If I don't walk into the plant, there we go. And that's the view from this side. All of the wing mirror covers, I've checked both sides, no damage on those. We've got keyless entry, all of the door edges, I've checked all of them, so we can basically lock the car. We've set it to fold the mirrors in. You can turn that off if you don't wish them to be folding in, and then just put your hand inside, it unlocks and they come out. Round the filler cap, again, no scratches. This vehicle will also run not only on the E10 fuel, but it's sort of future-proofed right up to the E25 fuel. There we go. And that does close on the central locking. And then the rear lights, LED lights, very slightly smoked as well. And then the exhaust system, it's got sort of a black galvanized sort of finish. There is a word for it and I've forgotten it. Typical when you're doing a video, but there you go. The M40i badge, and importantly, if we look across the boot, no damage, no dents, nothing on the bumper, all of the trim and the black gloss along the back there. Rear camera just in the center above the logo. Let's just bring you in. No scratches around the rear badge. And you see the tinting at the top of the lights, like the reverse lights, are sort of smoky finish. That's part of the shadow line package. So looking really nice there. So let's take a look inside. So we'll start on the passenger side front. So all black leather with like a grey stitching, contrasting stitching. You've got a multiple choice of colours that you can light the interior up on the iDrive system. And there's no damage on the door edge. All the way down, that'll be my knees. Puddle lights under there, really nice and clean. All the seals. Speaker covers, and we've got the HARMAN KARDON sound system. Full set of BMW mats, all the carpets are really nice underneath. Electric front seats, driver's side has memory, and you've got the bolster button, the little rocker button there, which will inflate the bolsters either side to hold you nice and comfortably in the seat. The front section of the seat pulls forward to give you added support under your legs, especially for those long journeys. Headrest pop forward. Got centre armrest there. And if I show you all the trims inside from this side, and then we can show them from the other, there's no scratching. All of the trim in really nice condition. I'll show you more when we come around the other side. But a really nice vehicle in lovely condition. Let's just move to the rear of the car. Again, starting with the door card. And again, no damage. Really lovely condition. Puddle lights, quite big holders for bottles in the door. HARMAN KARDON speakers. There's quite a few more speakers with the HARMAN KARDON system, including underneath the seats. There's added speakers down there, and then if we look at all the seal here. Now this button here enables you to pull the back seat, I don't know if you saw that, so that this comes forward very slightly, just to give you that little bit of extra room in the boot. And I'm just going to pull it and push that back. All of the rear seats got drop-down headrests in the centre. All of the leather in really nice condition. Obviously you've got ISOFIX. And then we've got cup holders, centre armrest there. And then in the back down here, we've got a separate, so it's tri-zone climate control. We can set the fan speed onto auto, and we can set the temperature. Obviously the car isn't running at the moment, so it's all turned off. So you can, it's a digital display basically. The back of the front seats is another area to check. And as you can see, there's no dig marks or anything in there. So that's that side. Now, because we've got the keyless entry or comfort access, the keys in my pocket, I can just swoop my foot underneath the boot and it will automatically raise the tailgate. Now, that's just dust that's come down. If we look along the top of the rear bumper, there is no damage on there, and if we look at this seal that runs across to this brushed aluminium, it's all in really nice condition. We can drop the front seats using this handle here. We've got little hooks here for carrier bags, first aid in this side, extended storage gives you this elastic here, 60-40 split. We've then also, because of the extended storage, we've got a 12-volt socket, more places to hook your carrier bags on. And then this car has got a really nice matte, thick rubber mat that protects. Let's just flip that back. With part of the extended storage is these rails down the side, and you can slide those hooks up and down. And then using the cargo net, whoops, let's do that again. And then you've got some more storage in here underneath. So we've got run flats, so we've got storage, we've got locking wheel nut there. And then there's a cargo net, I think, just down under, or with first aid kit, etc. under there. But quite a lot of storage under there. Let me just come back out. There we go. And then this rubber mat. It's not hiding anything. It's all lovely and clean under there. And parcel shelf, number one. The other one is fitted up at the top here, and I've checked that out. That's all in nice condition. All of the black vinyl trim up here, again, really nice condition. And then we've got two options up here. We can just close the tailgate, or we can lock the whole car from here as well. In fact, you can lock just the boot or all of the car. There's an option in the iDrive. So instead of swooping my foot, this time we'll just press that. Down it goes. But if you were carrying a box out of the car, you can just lift the box out, swoop your foot under the bottom and it will shut. So there's also lighting in the door handles. Can you see that? So at night, not only have you got puddle lights, but all of the door handles illuminate. Okay, let's get this back in focus. Right. So checking the door card down on the outside, and what we're checking that there's no holes where the seat belt's been jammed in the door, etc. All of the trims, door handles, the seal, all the way up and round, all in really nice condition. And if we check out the back of those front seats again from this side, you can see there's not big scars or or scratches across them from things being put in the boot and hitting them or anything, which happens. So all nice in there, all the carpet's nice, and then just checking out that center console in the rear, no damage there either. Okay, let's go to the drive door. Again, no scratches around the door handle. There we go. Nothing at all. And then if we just flip those lights to auto, that will turn them off. So this door card, we'll start checking down that edge there. No damage there. And if we come down low, you can see all the way to the bottom, really nice and clean. And then we've got the button here at the front to open the boot. You can fold the mirrors in from here manually. And depending which side you leave the switch for the left-right mirror, the near side mirror, over on the passenger side there, when you go into reverse, it'll automatically dip for you. And then we've got the memory seat positions, which will also do the mirrors as well. Sorry about the noise in the background. It wasn't there when we started the video, but next door we're obviously busy. And then we've got the rest of the electric seat buttons here. If we look at the lever on the seat, no wear, all in really nice condition all the way up. All of the pedal area, brake area, etc., all in really nice condition. We've got the extended storage, gives you a little cubby hole here as well, which is quite handy. Auto lights, fog lights, park lights, auto wipers, and then the steering wheel is really nice and clean. Now when I say that, it's got the same sort of shine as when you get one of these vehicles brand new. What tends to happen, they go very shiny, like almost polished and darker, blacker basically, from grease on people's hands. And this has got a really natural finish to it. It's quite hard to pick up. And let me just turn that interior light off because it's giving out a yellow light, a yellower light. There we go. Can you see the difference? That's how much lighting plays havoc with the camera. And then we've got all the control mode button, speed limit control, cruise control, sorry, and speed limiter. And if we look down here, all of the armrest in really nice condition, all the black gloss. We also do run we've got a special machine polisher, a very small one, for just bringing a nice shine back up. And underneath where the cup holes will be, there's also wireless charging, which I'll show you in a minute. Just want to show you around. We've got heads-up display. So if we jump in, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start her up. So keyless start button's over here. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is the heads-up display. Most people are familiar with this. It is turned on. I'm just going to, if we go into, let's just pull this out. Let me just grab hold of this a bit better. There we go. We go into my vehicle. Vehicles, no, it's not that one. It's the next one down. We go into displays, heads-up display, brightness. So we'll increase the brightness. Now what you can see this outline over here of the heads-up display. When you drop down to this one, we can adjust the height of it and the rotation. So if it feels a little bit off to the side, you can get it just right. We can also reduce the amount of what it's displaying, or we can set individually, put it on individual, and you can select what it displays for you. So we'll leave it on standard, and then if I bring, you can just see, now it's just above the grille, it's reflecting on the bonnet of the Mercedes in front. Now if I press mode, just to the right of that, there we go, you can just make out, that's the radio channels for FM, AM. Music collection is the hard drive, and then we've got DAB, so then we can go into the DAB channels. That is as far as I can zoom in. But what this will also display is your sat nav as well, so left, right, etc. Basically the arrow will point to the route that you need to take. Coming back to here, yeah, so pretty much. And if you turn the heads-up display off, so basically down here in the digital cockpit, and you can see the mileage there, if we press the BC button on the left, it brings up that display at the bottom, and you can flick through, and that's all it changes while you've got the heads-up display on. Now if we turn the heads-up display off over here, now why would you want to do this, you're wondering? Well, when you've got your sunglasses on, let me just make sure this is going to do what I think it's going to do. Let me just turn the radio down. If we now press the mode button instead of the BC button, we can actually bring up the display down in the cockpit here on the instrument cluster, and we can flick through FM, AM. So if you've got your sunglasses on, it's very hard to see. The polarized sunglasses stop you seeing the heads-up display. So if it's very sunny, you can bring all the information down inside the car instead of having it up on the top. So we'll flip that back on, because if I press mode now with the heads-up on, you don't get anything down on the instrument cluster. Okay, so let's just move over to here. Now this is all touch screen as well, and sometimes pressing a button more than once will give you a different screen. Let me try and get this in focus. It's very hard with the bright light outside. Okay, that's about as best I'm going to get it. Now you can move these, what we call tiles, about and put them in whichever order you want. So your media and your vehicle you can put up this side. Now if we go on to your media navigation, over on this side, if I use the iDrive wheel, so if we come over, route guidance, in fact if we go route guidance, new destination, address input, we can basically write on the top of the iDrive wheel, down here with our finger, or we can do voice control. Sorry, that was my fault. There's a Welsh destination in there by the looks of it. So we can do, if we put our postcode in, and it doesn't start with D. Let's try that again. P-O-3. Now to do a space, just do a line across. Space. And a 5 needs to have a very square look to it, otherwise it comes up as an S. R. Y. Press down for OK, and basically you can start your route guidance there, and if you want to cancel it, just go back in there, stop route guidance. Now if we come down to map views, there's various different bits of information in here. If you go into these, you can decide what sort of images you want, etc. Map views, for example, we've got in direction of travel. So perspective is the one that most people use. Now with the numbered buttons down here, if I just glide my finger across them, you can see at the top you can assign them. Now it's not just for radio channels, so perspective will put on number 7, and then if we go in here and select in direction of travel, put that on number 6. Rather than having to fumble about in there. To change that, we can just press number 7 now, and it will change the view. There's quite a few windows that you can select to save in there. You can save telephone numbers on there, radio stations, whatever you, pretty much whatever you want. There's a few windows that it won't save. Now if we go to menu, so basically down on the iDrive wheel, we've got shortcuts, map, navigation, back button, options, media, menu. If we go into the media, now off the top of my head, I'm not too sure, has this one got Apple CarPlay? It may well have. We've got the HARMAN KARDON sound system, graphic equalizer you can play around with, different volumes. Oh, we've got gesture control. So as you can see, if you do that, it'll turn the sound up, and there are various different commands you can give it. There's a camera basically above, or sensor above, that picks up on your hand. So rather than pressing buttons, you can just swirl your finger like that, and it will turn the volume up. Swirl it the other way, it will turn it down. So sorry about the reflection, so let me just try and change the angle. So that's the sound. Screen mirroring, you've got Bluetooth audio, all of that in there. If I press telephone, called communication, let me just see. If this one isn't set up with Apple CarPlay, then we can get it installed. It's not very expensive to do. We can manage all the mobile devices there, personalized memos, plenty of information in there. Let's come back out of there. If we go to vehicle, this is where you've got all the different pop-ups, different settings, gestures, touchpad, wireless tray, and the top one, intelligent safety. Okay, so the intelligent safety, this button just here, if we press that, they're all on individual configure. So you've got pedestrian warning and you've got collision warning, which you can change how early or late that will interfere or come on. Climate and comfort, rear climate, air circulation, seat heating. Now this is where you can actually set a minimum temperature. As you can see, it's set at 8 degrees, but you could change that, and then basically when you get into the car, it will default and come on automatically when it's that cold outside, and you can select the level of heat you want for the seat. So automatically, without you thinking about it, it will just come on. So there's lots of various settings in there. We've got climate control at the front, heated seats. All of the display here is in really nice condition. I'm sorry about the brightness. It's really bright today coming through. And all of that screen is in really nice condition, no scratches. Down under here, we've got a USB port, cup holders. It's a non-smoking vehicle, obviously. And then this is your wireless charging for your phone. A nice M badge down there as well. We've got auto brake hold, so you can hold the brake just by pushing down hard. And then if we look down here, we've got Eco Pro, Comfort Sport and Adaptive. Now part of the M Sport Plus package, which not all of these have got, quite a few but not all of them. If we go into Eco Pro, with the Adaptive we can adjust the suspension and we can adjust lots of things. So in Eco Pro you get a much flatter feel to the throttle, but you can configure different settings. It tells you how efficient you're driving, or you've set the car. If you bring the speed down to say 60, there we go, that's increased to 97%. Coasting, that allows you, when you come off the throttle, just to coast, no engine braking. It almost goes into like neutral. If you turn it off, it drops it by 10%. Look, Eco for seating, so it will restrict the amount of power going to the seats because that's drawing from the alternator. The same with the climate control, more or less power for economy, your lighting, and then you've got the damping, so the suspension you can have in comfort or sport. And the steering, again, comfort and sport. Now, if we go to comfort mode, this is a balance setting, a preset setting, and then we've got sport. Now we've got standard sport. This will increase the responsiveness from the throttle and change the gear shift a little bit as well. Just get that back up there. And then we've got, so that's standard. And then plus for an extra dynamic setting. And then individual, which you can then again configure in here. And you can change the suspension. Whoops. I lost it then. Configure the suspension, the steering, the engine power, and the transmission. So all of that is adjustable in there. Now also on the gearbox, when you come into drive, you've got sport. Oh no, they've changed it because they've put it up there. So basically the sport setting for the gearbox is now solely up here. Just wanted to show you underneath here. So with that, just show you in there as well. With the suspension setting or the damping and soft, you get a much smoother ride, soak up the road really well. And then in the sport setting, it's a much more dynamic feel, sticks better to the road, there's less body roll, it's a firmer feel. And the other thing, if I go to Eco Pro, all of the dials on the digital dash will change. There's comfort, and then back to sport. I think individual is the same as well. Okay, and then the button for the adaptive lights is just on the end here, and that brings up that little logo at the top there. I've pretty much covered everything inside. We've got some lighting up here. Just wanted to show you very quickly around the cockpit before I get out. All of the seats. In fact, I'll probably jump out, it'll be easier. 2 pulls on the bonnet, release catch. Okay. Just see if I can get a better view from back here. Now what I wanted to do, if we put it in sport, over 3,000 revs or in sport mode, opens up a valve on the exhaust at the back. Now the car has been running before, but when the car's under load, you get much more of a burble from the engine. But it's a lovely sounding engine. And these are quoted at about 348.4, I think it is, brake horsepower. But BMWs tend to make more brake horsepower than that. So it's running probably over 350 standard. And a ACOUSTIC remap that we can have done on the car for you, not a lot of money, takes these up to around about 430. I think we've just had one done the other day, and it was 430 brake horsepower, quite a lot more torque as well. Now all of the engine bays are cleaned very carefully. All of these little wells down in here are hoovered out to get rid of leaves. You don't want a jet wash in there. You just end up turning it to mush, and then it will block all of the drainage holes. And then we use a lot of maintenance spray. We don't use truck wash in our engine bays. We use maintenance spray, similar to like WD-40. It's a much safer product because it disperses the moisture. So really nice and tidy under there. And if we look at the back underneath the bonnet, we'll probably get better pictures when we take some photographs, because as you can see, the skylights are letting so much light in. So pretty much the aim here at Prestige Diesels and Sports is to present these vehicles to the best that they can be and prepare them to a really high level, which some of the bigger dealers, you know, they can't afford to spend that much time on the vehicles because they've got so many vehicles. But being a small family business, we can spend a lot more attention on our vehicles And I believe that we produce or present a much nicer vehicle in much better condition. And all of the servicing, which I did check before, but I've forgotten to show you now, is all up to date. It was serviced this year. The next service is only a brake fluid change, which is due in January. But the last service was the big service, including spark plugs, filters, etc. So that's all been done. And the MOT is till end of next May, I believe it is. Now, if you need any finance options, please get in touch. The finance is going to go up from 9.9 to 10.9 at the beginning of next month. So any finance options, finance we get through before then is guaranteed for 14 days. So if you are interested and you want to do finance and take advantage of the current rate, get in touch as soon as possible. We've got some fantastic warranty packages that you can take out up to 4 years on these vehicles at very, very good prices with huge cover. The extended warranty will cover things like oil seals and gaskets, over 6,000 items on the car, and you can choose the claim limit, etc. So there's lots to talk about. So thanks for watching the video. Please get in touch and look forward to speaking to you. Bye now.